The Baltimore Ravens just secured one of their most dominant wins of the season, a surprising 24-0 shutout against division rival, the Cincinnati Bengals. At first glance, everything seems perfect, a comfortable victory, an impressive performance. Playoff hopes still alive. But behind this dominant score, a much darker and more unsettling truth is emerging, and Ravens fans are beginning to feel it. Despite the crushing victory, the Ravens' offense continues to raise serious red flags. The rhythm is out of sync. The explosiveness has disappeared. And now, fingers are being pointed in all directions. Lamar Jackson, the offensive line, and even the coaching staff. This victory didn't silence the doubts. On the contrary, it amplified them. And as the playoff race intensifies, Baltimore is running out of time to fix problems that refuse to disappear. And it all starts with the franchise's most important player. Lamar Jackson is the heart of the Baltimore Ravens. A former MVP, a generational talent, and the engine behind one of the most dangerous offenses the NFL has ever seen. But since returning from a hamstring injury, the Lamar we're seeing doesn't seem like the same player, and that reality is becoming impossible to ignore. The explosiveness that defined his career has disappeared. The breathtaking runs, the sudden acceleration, the ability to turn a game around in a single play, they're simply not there anymore. Since his return, Lamar has rushed for over 40 yards only once, and that happened in Week 14 against the Steelers, a game in which Baltimore trailed for almost the entire time. Instead of dictating the pace of the game, Lamar has been reacting to it. His passing hasn't been much better. In his last 7 starts, Lamar has completed only 60.5% of his passes, a considerable drop from his career average of 64.8%. The numbers paint an even bleaker picture. Only 8 touchdown passes against 5 interceptions since returning from injury. These aren't MVP numbers. These are survival numbers. Even more concerning, Lamar has been dealing with a series of minor injuries since his return, which clearly limits his confidence and mobility. When Lamar isn't at his best, the Ravens' offense struggles to function. And while it's easy to blame him, that ignores a large part of the problem. Because Lamar isn't being put in a position to succeed. And that brings us to the next layer of this offensive collapse, the protection in front of him. If Lamar Jackson seems uncomfortable, rushed, and hesitant, there's a reason, and it starts with the Ravens' offensive line. On paper, things don't look disastrous. The Pro Football Network ranks Baltimore's offensive line as the 18th best in the league. But that number is misleading, inflated by individual achievements rather than consistent performance. Yes, Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum were selected to the Pro Bowl, but aside from those two, the line has been a weak point. The Ravens allowed the 8th most sacks in the NFL, and Lamar himself absorbed 33 of the team's total 40 sacks. This isn't just bad luck, it's a systemic flaw. The biggest culprits are clear: right guard Daniel Falele and left guard Andrew Voorhees. Together, they allowed 7 sacks on just 49 combined pressures. This level of inconsistency collapses pockets before plays can develop, forcing Lamar into rushed passes or unnecessary hits. The situation became so alarming that even Ravens legends like Shannon Sharpe publicly criticized the offensive line's performance. And the damage goes beyond sacks. In the red zone, where space is limited and execution is crucial, Baltimore ranks 31st in touchdown efficiency, scoring touchdowns in only 44% of their red zone entries. This is almost unthinkable when you consider the talent involved, a Hall of Fame running back like Derrick Henry. With 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson, the team continues to lose. Even so, offensive drives don't advance. Opportunities slip through their fingers. So, if the quarterback is struggling and the offensive line is crumbling, the final, most uncomfortable question needs to be asked: who is responsible for fixing this? The final blow to the Ravens' offensive identity doesn't come from injuries or poor execution. It comes from the coaching staff. Coach John Harbaugh, known throughout his career for his loyalty and trust in his players, now faces criticism for taking that philosophy too far. Week after week, Harbaugh refuses to make significant adjustments. The same offensive line combinations remain in the starting lineup. Daniel Falele remains in the starting 11 despite persistent difficulties. Meanwhile, younger players like rookie Emory Jones Jr., now healthy after missing 12 games, are struggling. Therefore, responsibility is also fundamental. And at this moment, the Ravens seem like a stagnant team, unwilling to adapt as the season nears its end. For a franchise that began the year with Super Bowl aspirations, the margin for error is gone. Every game matters. Every possession matters. And unless Lamar regains his confidence, the offensive line improves, and the coaching staff embraces change, this season may end not with a playoff berth, but with enormous disappointment. The victory over Cincinnati proved that the Ravens still possess the talent of a sleeping giant. The question now is whether they will wake up in time, or whether this season will be remembered as one of the greatest missed opportunities in franchise history.